So I am excited to talk about the topic of today's video because I'm going to be covering 16 true physical games fully on the cart that are going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 very soon. And the first one that I have to cover is Oblivion Remastered, because I think nobody saw this coming after Bethesda released Fallout 4 and the Skyrim Anniversary Edition as code and box releases for the Switch 2. But this one, they're going to put fully on the cart. And I think the reason that they're doing that is because they probably saw the sales of Indiana Jones for the Switch 2 that they put fully on the cart. And it's just also crazy that none of these games like Indiana Jones and the Oblivion Remaster got true physical releases for the PS5 or the Xbox. They were basically game key cards on those systems, but just with a disc. But Oblivion is a game that I have a lot of history with. I played it way back on the 360, and honestly, I think it's better than Skyrim. If you don't know what these games are, they are these big kind of open world RPGs where you can do all kind of side quests. You have a main mission to follow, but you have all kind of different stats that you can increase. You get to create your character and choose a build, whether you want it to be a mage or you want a more physical fighter with an axe or a sword. And these games are just a lot of fun. You can do different stuff like conjuring the dead to fight for you. And these games just have a wealth of content. Now, I don't know if every single piece of content is going to be fully on the cart, but it has been confirmed that the base game is, and I'm seeing a lot of people saying that even the DLC expansions are going to be on the cart for this release. So that is very exciting, and I probably will pick this up at some point, if not on day one myself. Are you planning to pick this one up? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And another exciting upcoming true physical release was announced by Limited Run recently, and that is for Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition, and pre-orders are going live for that today on July 2nd until August 2nd. I've never played a Tomb Raider game. I do have the original trilogy remastered for the Switch, but this might be the one to start with for me as it's more modern, has better graphics, probably more refined gameplay. If you're someone that's played this game, definitely feel free to tell me your experience with it in the comments if you want to. And for some of these games that I don't know a whole lot about, just so it's not jarring to people, I may just put clips of the gameplay where I'm not talking and I leave the audio on just to show a little bit of it if I don't have a lot to say about some of these games. But this is another upcoming physical release that I'm definitely excited for. And on October 2nd for $70, Lies of P is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 with a true physical release. And this is a Souls-like game that is based on the characters of Pinocchio, but of course it's not going to be like the Disney version. This is definitely a more adult version, as this is a really hardcore action game. I really haven't played Souls-like games myself, but this may be the one to start with for me, as it is getting a true physical on the Switch 2, and that is definitely very exciting. And on September 3rd, we are getting a third-party exclusive that is getting a true physical for the Switch 2, and that game is Orbitals. Now, this is a co-op focused action game, and I think you do have to play this game co-op to play it, if I'm not mistaken, but it does look pretty cool. It looks like there's going to be some kind of shooting action going on. I think I saw some like side-scrolling levels. I haven't really looked at a whole lot of this game, but I definitely have to shout out the developers and publishers of this game for putting a true physical copy onto the Nintendo Switch 2 platform. And as far as the price for this game, I can't remember if it was 50 or 60, but I know that if you pre-order with Walmart or Amazon, because it is a Switch 2 exclusive physical, you can get $10 off. And I did pre-order, what was it, Star Fox with Walmart, and I got the $10 discount, and they even delivered it to me on launch day. Not everybody has had that same experience. Like my cousin, I think he got it 2 days later, but getting that $10 discount is nice. So I'm just throwing that information out there for anybody who might want to know that and pre-order these games for $10 cheaper. Now, that's only for the Switch 2 exclusive physical copies. Walmart and Amazon is doing that for. And before I go on with this list, I just want to ask, if you're enjoying this content, if you would please help me out in the algorithm by hitting the like button, hitting the hype button, subscribing to the channel if you're not already, because without your support, I can't do anything on this platform, and I really am appreciative of all the support that I have gotten on here. Thank you guys so much. On October 22nd, we are getting Nintendo Switch Sports Resort, which is getting a true physical copy for $60. But of course, if you pre-order with Amazon or Walmart, you can definitely get $10 off on that order. And this looks cool. It basically looks like Wii Sports Resort brought back to life on the Nintendo Switch 2. Not the most exciting game for me as I'm more of a handheld player, but this is something that I could have fun with friends and family with playing on the TV, and it might be time to finally hook up my Switch 2 to the TV because honestly, I haven't even done that yet. I just pretty much treat my Switch 2 as a handheld. But are you excited for Switch Sports Resort? Definitely let me know in the comments below. One thing that's always exciting is seeing childhood favorite games of ours brought back to the modern era with a nice remaster or remake that gives these games a new lease on life. That's why I'm really excited when Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee will release on November 3rd with a true physical copy for the Switch 2. And looking at the trailer for this game, shout out to Scorpio C's Arcade because he put a video on his channel talking about it, and I was looking at the trailer on there because I was expecting this to just be a regular port. But wow, this actually looks like a brand new game with the up-to-date remastered graphics. And I think it's time to settle the score with this game for me because this game would always kick my butt as a kid. I never really did that good in it. I mean, I thought it was cool to play the game as Godzilla and these other monsters, being able to destruct the environment, like pick up cards and buildings and throw them at your enemies. All that was really cool, but I was just never really good at it. So with this remaster, that's my chance to finally try to beat this game. The Switch 2 physical copy is only going to be $40 as well, so not too bad for a true on-cart Switch game. And I have covered this game in previous episodes, but since we're getting so close to release, I'll go ahead and cover it again. Splatoon Raiders is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 on July 23rd with a true physical for $60. Of course, if you pre-order with Amazon or Walmart, it'll be $50. And I'm definitely already sold on this game without even having watched the recent direct that we got for it. But I know there has been a lot of hype since Nintendo put out that direct, so I probably should check it out at some point. But just getting the idea of a single player Splatoon campaign with co-op up to 4 players, I was already sold on that idea, and I'll definitely be picking this game up on day one. The next game that I want to cover is Azur Striker Gunvolt Trilogy Enhanced Edition, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. This is a Japan import that does support multi-language and English, and I looked up this game on Video Games Plus. They have it for 70 Canadian, so converted to US dollars, it should be even cheaper than that. Now, I know these games are action platformers that are similar to like the Mega Man games, so I was actually thinking about picking this up on the Switch 1, but now that it's getting an enhanced Switch 2 release, I probably should go ahead and pull the trigger on finally picking up and playing these games, this trilogy. And the release date for this release is on October 22nd. Now, I do want to cover another trilogy of games that are all getting individual Switch 2 true physical releases, and of course, that is the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy, because Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is coming to the Switch 2 with a physical on July 30th. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is coming on October 1st, and Xenoblade 3 is coming on December 3rd. And of course, these are all getting true physical releases for the Switch 2. These are highly regarded JRPGs that I probably need to catch up to speed with and finally play. The only one I did play was the one that isn't a part of the trilogy, which is Xenoblade X Definitive Edition. And I got kind of like soft locked into this side quest that just got me frustrated and made me put the game down, but I was enjoying my time with it before that. Okay, so the next game that I want to cover releases on October 15th for $50, and I'm actually really excited to pick this one up because it is a collection of classic games that I've actually never got to experience. And this game is Toy Story Retro Roundup plus Toy Story 3 Complete Edition Double Pack. You get 6 games across 2 titles. You get 4 classic Toy Story games and A Bug's Life, and it includes 11 games total, versions of different games across these consoles, from handheld to the console versions of these classic games. And of course, you're going to get that big remaster for Toy Story 3 as well. So I'm definitely excited to pick up this release and to play these games when they release on the Switch 2 with a true physical copy. Blueprints is another game that's getting a true physical for the Switch 2 on October 19th. I don't know much about this game except that it is like some kind of puzzle adventure game. I'll probably just go ahead and put some gameplay up so you all can look at it. And maybe when I'm working on this video, I'll see which one of these games I'm more interested in myself, because that does end up happening when I make these videos. Sometimes I don't know much about them, and then when I go to edit and look at the trailer footage, I'm like, that game actually looks really good. I need to pick that one up myself. The next few games that I want to cover have been confirmed to be getting true on-cart Switch 2 releases, but they don't have official release dates confirmed. And the first one is Screenbound. Now, this is some type of adventure game where you're going to be able to switch back between 2D and 3D. It looks like you're like holding up this Game Boy, and then you can see like the environment that's 3D and 2D with the Game Boy, and I guess you like switch back between both of them. I don't know much about it, but it says it has a release date on December 31st. Usually when I see that December 31st release date, I assume it's a placeholder, so that's probably what it is with this game. Unbeatable is a rhythm adventure game that also has a confirmed Switch 2 physical copy, but it doesn't have a release date yet. I just know that the release is going to be from I Am 8-Bit. Another confirmed physical game for the Switch 2 that doesn't have a set release date yet, they say they're aiming for 2027, is Bell's Fanfare. This game looks really cool. It looks like a Zelda-like game from the N64 with like GameCube style graphics, and they're saying that this game was inspired by Zelda, Spirited Away, and Undertale, so it definitely looks like a really unique experience, and I'm excited to see more of it and see when the physical actually does get a release date. So those are all the upcoming true physical Switch 2 games that I wanted to cover on today's video. I definitely think the tides are starting to turn as we're getting more true physical copies, even from third parties like Bethesda, and seeing games like Lies of P getting true physicals is definitely encouraging. I mean, I know we're still getting game key cards, but things are balancing out a little better on the Switch 2. But definitely, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to help me out in the algo by hitting the like button, hitting the hype button, and I'll definitely look forward to catching you all on the next video.